Recording in progress.
Now we are.
Okay.
So Carol has an appointment, so she.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
It's been much too long since I've seen you.
I know. And I was like, today was just running behind on everything, and I was like, I don't want to do Zoom. I want to go out there. I made it work.
I'm glad you did.
You do.
I was just talking to Carol about our completed kitchen, which you'll get to look at. It's all done.
Good.
All we have left is the dumpster outside.
Yeah, I saw it was still there.
But that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's least invasive right now.
Oh, yes. Okay. Do you need a moment to breathe?
I'll breathe.
Okay. Keep breathing.
Yes.
So, Carol, I don't know how much time you've had to look at the videos, but any questions from either one of you? Comments on your practice?
Actually, no, David, I actually did get to watch the video and was able to practice, so it started each morning. So the practice for the heaven and earth seemed to be going pretty well. It's it's the meditation that I'm still finding that feeling the blockages. I found that what I had to do is go back to prior meditation recordings and get back to where I am right now with it
Uh-huh.
and progress, I think, a little more slowly. I'm not where you're, at right now, but I'll get there. But
Yep.
the recordings are so helpful because it allows me to go back and take it at the pace that my body seems to want to go.
That's absolutely the correct thing to do. And this, uh, well, I think any meditation practice um, takes a very long time to begin to feel like you're really making the kind of progress with it you'd like to. There's no end to it, obviously, um, but it's that you're doing exactly the right thing. Do you have any questions about that at the moment?
No, I mean, I'm feeling the sinking, the chi is really feeling that very, very strongly now, which I hadn't in the past. And so I just have to look at what progress looks like for me. But as you said, in terms of the feeling the blockages, I'm not sure if what I'm feeling is a blockage or just, and I hesitate to name it because I don't want to fall into that. Just kind of let come whatever comes at this point.
So that's you're immediately describing the third blockage, something that doesn't feel quite right, and especially if you don't know what it is. And
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what a lot of blockages are for us at the beginning. Um, we 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 start out just recognizing that something isn't what it ought to be.
Hmm.
So don't struggle with that, but you can accept that. Yes, that's indicating a blockage, probably.
And then do what? Just move on?
See if you can see if you can dissolve it.
Okay.
See if you can feel any change at all. That's really the first step. Ice to water is to feel any change, not not a big change. It sometimes is, but a lot of the time, it's relatively subtle. Um, but if you feel any change at all, that allows you to go on to water to gas and release as much as you can at that moment, um, and then you can see if you feel anything further behind it, another energy there behind it, and same thing. Or move around the body at the same level and see if there are any other points that feel the same way there. And if not, move on down. And some days in the beginning, you will only feel one place in the entire body. You'll just not be able to recognize more. And that's okay. Don't do not struggle with it and think too much about it. Um,
Okay. Thank you.
Anything for you?
I with heaven and earth, I think I kind of diagnosed and figured out how to avoid the. We were talking about the feeling forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's more. It's still feeling the bend
Mm-hmm.
and feeling that more correctly. So I worked on that quite a bit.
We're going to talk some more about particularly the neck part of the bend today.
Okay.
So to begin with heaven and earth, actually first a couple of things just to check, sort of check with you. I'm assuming that both of you are comfortable with um, where the macrocosmic circuit is flowing while you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Any question
Mhm.
about that?
No, no.
Yeah, good. Um, so the on the foot there are three main energy points, and I think that we're all familiar with Lagong, which is really located forward in the middle of the foot. It translates as bubbling well, and it is the point that's most open to rising energy. We draw energy up through bubbling well. Um, Secondly, is perhaps Shen Gong, which is at the point of the heel, clear back at the point of the heel. It means lost sleep, um, just to get a translation. Um, and that's the most important point to where we can drop energy into the earth. And then the second one is called uh, Chongyang, meaning rise. No, I'm sorry, rushing yang, and it's a point which coordinates the other two and controls the flow of the energy up and down the body and into those points and out of those points. So that's really just giving you a little information there at the moment. Now we want to look at the bending of the neck. Um, this is always an issue for us. And this actually is a technique that's called crane neck. And this is critical to every form of Qigong. When you're bending, you need to be very aware of how you do that, meaning how you do the crane neck. Because if you are bending through the whole body, the neck obviously is a part of it. So one of the things to remember is that we don't want to just do what's sometimes referred to as a chicken neck, where if you were to put an object in your throat and just bend your head forward, you could hear what it does to your voice. It's begun to interrupt things there. So what we really want to do is learn how to extend the neck up and extend it and bend it forward, which allows you to get the bend and not have any effect on either breathing or, as you can hear, vocally. You don't want to collapse the neck. The crane neck is curving out, and that's what you want to do. So that you don't have any pressure on the throat. Now, later on, when we get to opening and closing, one of the cavities of the body is right at the throat notch and down in a little bit, very slightly, and that is the equivalent of what they call in the throat in chakra, throat chakra in or yoga. Well, bro, it's equivalent to what they call the throat chakra in yoga. But it has incredibly important physiological functions, especially in terms of upgrading the thyroid. And we'll come back to that later on. For right now, we want to develop the crane neck, not a chicken neck, but extend up and then extend out and forward. And this should stretch the vertebra at the top of the spine and actually all the way down the spine eventually. It's not just a neck movement. It's actually stretching down the entire spine. Now when you get to where you can do it really, really well, it will actually stretch right down to your tailbone. And if you if you don't do that, if you choke the larynx, it really starts disconcerting the muscles in the neck. Now you're going to find when you have that space right there, that as you go down in movement 3 and then come up with all the arm movements, that it is dramatically easier to do it. And do it easily and smoothly and slowly. So what I'd like you to do for a moment is you can do this seated. Just make sure you're sitting straight and feel your neck, and particularly feel the top of your head, the crown of your head, and have a sense of the crown of your head pulling up until you literally stretch your neck as far as it can possibly go, which obviously is not what we want to do, but I want you to feel that. And then let it release to that midpoint where it's still has been extended, but it's not tense. And then it's going to extend a little forward and bend. And you want to make sure it still is feeling relaxed in the neck, not tense. So when you do the crane neck, it is a movement that goes up and forward and doesn't affect your voice or your breathing in any way. Okay? And we want to make sure that we're doing that whenever we are bending, as we are in 3, all the way down, and also in 6. The crane neck is there also. It is in every time you bend, not just movement 3. So, any questions about that? Can you feel that? Feel the difference of that?
Mm-hmm.
Anything for you, Carol?
No, not at all. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So what I want you to do is do a just a 10 repetition flow of heaven and earth, and try to make sure that you are doing that crane neck in movements 3 and 6. And straightening and allowing it to relax and straighten. And obviously 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Okay?
Okay.
Nothing to it.
Nothing to it.
So I can see her too. I've got to correct something here. Can you hear me, Carol? Somehow I seem to have disconnected her, I think. And I can't. She's still, when you check participants, she's still on the. Or she was on there. Is she still on?
Doesn't look like it.
There she
There
is.
you
Okay. No, I can't.
You click on her to
Well, usually it comes at the top.
like there on Carol. Yeah.
Oh,
admit.
there we
you
go. I don't know what I did. Zoom.
And then they change everything.
Oh, they do. They're bad that way. Carol, I'm sorry. In an effort to enlarge your image so I could watch you, I lost you.
Yeah, she wants to do a couple more.
Sure. I can't hear her, but
Yeah, she's got herself muted because it's got that echo.
yeah.
There we go. Okay. So I went out and came back in.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure if that helped.
it does.
It does.
Okay.
It's still there, but
So do you have any
So do you have any
questions?
questions?
No, actually I don't. It's the heaven and earth is feeling pretty good right now, but I don't know if you had a chance to see my movements at all.
Not much, because
Not much, because
Okay.
you disappeared.
you disappeared.
Okay. So
Which I think was
Which,
my
which
fault,
I think
not
was my
yours.
fault, not yours.
okay.
So
So
let me say a couple of
let me
things.
say a couple of things to
Linda, that's your name.
Linda. That's your name.
it gets distracting.
It's distracting.
It's hard.
It's hard
You can't
because
say anything.
you can't say.
So
I don't know how to fix that. Partway through, for some reason, you you got to here and started to rise.
Okay.
And we're supposed to be still sinking at that point
Okay.
and then rising.
Okay, so I'm confused then. Where do we
So-
start the rising?
So
'Cause I thought-
we want to sink all the way through 3, which has 3 parts.
Right.
So if this is 2. So we have A, B, C.
Okay, because what I've been doing is, as I'm feeling this, and this starts to drop, that's where I start rising.
I
So
know,
I need to rise
yeah.
a little later. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to do that, so I've started.
Yeah. The tendency is to do what you were doing,
Okay.
but it actually has the opposite effect in terms of the energy.
Okay.
Because when you get to this point, it's this movement, keeping the connection of Lao Gong to here, that drops the energy and then allows it to go down as you rise.
Okay.
So that last sinking part of 3 is really important.
So when you make that,
So one of the things I'd say is you go more slowly sinking and bending in A and B, so that
Okay.
you still have some easy bend in
Right.
C.
right,
Yeah.
okay. So when you get to here, and you're feeling the Lao Gong connecting here,
Yeah.
you then, is it then
It's a
rotation?
pivot on that.
Oh, because see, I've been closing.
No, no.
Ah,
No, you're
that's
pivoting on that
pivot
and
on that.
dropping the fingers and allowing the elbows to come up without raising the shoulders. And that drops and separates the energy into the side channels.
Okay, that's very different than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one I was going to just mention is to be really aware that you want to follow the macrocosmic circuit in 4 and 5. So in 4, you're coming down to the Lagong point, and in 5, you're going around and down the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So that around and down is really important in keeping that connection. Your tendency is to get to the Lagong point and go down.
Yeah, I'm trying to round the curves, and it's much more.
And so it is rounding the rounding the corners is absolutely correct, but it's a more difficult rounding there because you have that here, yeah.
So, okay.
Okay. Any other questions for you?
No? That's
Okay.
good.
Right. So let's look at so the outer dissolving process, which is what we're working on at the moment, is good for making you physically healthy and balancing your internal organs. As your organs perform better, the corresponding instinctual emotions improve. If a person is diseased, specific organs are likely to be weak, and certain emotions are associated with these impaired organs. For example, sufferers of cirrhosis of the liver or hepatitis can be prone to anger. Someone who has liver problems as a result of alcohol abuse is likely to have a short fuse. That the result of drink is a well-known cultural stereotype. So the other dissolving process, the outer dissolving process, releases the chi inside your physical body, energy channels, and etheric body, or aura. Moving from ice to water releases you, relaxes you, releasing blockages within the acupuncture points or energy gates of your body, which are connected to the etheric body outside of you. In effect, the etheric body can be considered your external skin, enveloping your physical body. The inside of your body, or physical body, is what is underneath your skin. So, to deal with physical illness and generalized stress that can change your body, the outer dissolving process is applied. Now, most people are unaware that they habitually tense and strain, and if they are aware, they probably have no idea to what extent they are straining and tense. So letting go has to have a certain amount of appeal to you before you can actually start the process. If you don't see a problem in the first place, you're going to have a really difficult time trying to fix it. You must realize that you are straining and tensing first. So we've been brought up our entire lives to seek control, to control what happens now and what happens next. The trouble is we cannot control the external world. You can become aware, allow it to be, to allow it to work, and make your accommodations. However, the point of meditation is not to learn how to become in control. Meditation is meant to help you release the need for control in the first place. Every time people have emotional meltdowns, even every time they jump and try to hold on to control, they find that they can maybe do it for a few minutes, but they cannot maintain it for very long. So how do you let go of the need to control? Taoists have put a lot of consideration into letting go, which they call dissolving. So when sugar dissolves in water, the sugar lets go of its separate characteristics and just becomes part of the water. This is letting go. If you watch a thought long enough, it will just disappear, and another one will replace it. Then another, and then another. And that's not what letting go is about. Letting go is going behind what generates every thought, feeling, and sensation until you reach the core place where everything attaches to the nexus or the root of the tree. For happiness to well up inside you, whatever is stopping it has to leave to make room for the happiness. To hold pain inside you, a terrible memory, has to remain intact for you to continuously retain it. Letting go is about releasing whatever stops you from being happy, and equally whatever keeps you miserable. So whatever you are holding on to, whatever it is, positive or negative, will connect to the other blockages inside you. It is unlikely that you will ever make sense of these links intellectually. You cannot articulate what you do not know. But these sensations and feelings are still very much there. In times past, tension in human beings generally involved the muscles and physical body. Today, however, tension comes from the way we use our minds. The more we use our minds, the more skilled the mind becomes at holding what is deep inside that makes it difficult for us to let go. The 10,000 ways of being in denial, fooling ourselves, that the masks that we wear, they all prevent us from understanding what is really going on. However, through the outer dissolving process, we can recognize the four conditions, which allow us to recognize where the energy is blocked. Then we can generally fix these places using the dissolving process. The outer dissolving process works with the first two energy bodies. A cornerstone of Taoist philosophy is grounding and starting your practice in your physical body. The phrases used to describe the outer dissolving practice has for centuries been ice to water, water to gas. Ice refers to blocked, congealed energy. Water refers to the accepting and releasing and relaxing of your internal blockages until they no longer cause you tension. And gas refers to the complete release of all bound energy, moving away from your physical body and beyond your etheric body. Only then can the freedom and happiness begin to appear. So let us sit. Be aware of your structure. And your breath. Allow yourself to just land where you are. And then extend your mind through your body. Be very aware of and present to your physical body. Then begin at the crown of your head and scout downward, being aware of any of the four conditions. Relax and release whatever you find, using ice to water and water to gas. And be aware that you are releasing blockages in the energy of the physical body. Sending all benefit gained from this practice out to help all the sentient creatures of the universe. So any last minute thoughts or questions? Have a great week. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, David. Have a good week.
You too.
See you next week, Linda.
Thanks, Carol. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good luck giving blood.
Thank you. I'll see you probably a pound lighter next week.
Oh, okay.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. You know, one thing I was thinking about in reference to 3C is you just to make sense of energetically of what you're doing. There are two places in the body where the energy separates out into both the side channels and into the arms. And one of those is at the the throat, really the throat cavity, the throat notch cavity that I just mentioned before. The other one is at it's at heart level. But what's happening here is that you've connected to this point with that pulling of the energy through, and what this does is drops it into that throat notch and directs it out to the yes, David. Why can't you say those? Out to these points right here, which are actually lung points, so that it can go down them.
Okay.
And it's also sending it down the arms and hands too.
Okay. Yeah, there was one point where I wasn't paying attention to where I was going down. Once I felt those side channels, then it made a lot of difference in how that was. But now that's the connection there.
Yeah, that's the connection
Okay.
point. So you're dropping from here to here with that movement and separating.
Okay, because see, I was trying to stay connected to it until I started.
And you are keeping Lao Gong connected to it, but you are dropping the energy. Tricky.
Yeah, it is.
Very
It is.
tricky.
It is.
But it works.
Yeah, I bet it, because there's the 3AB, I'm really starting to feel the energy there.
Oh yeah.
And then I can kind of pick it back up here, but it's just kind of like, it's just there. And I haven't quite made that connection, so that's probably
When I really get that going here, I get a I get a charge at this point that's
Mm.
really incredible.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just very powerful.
Mm. Good. Good to know.
Well, let me turn off my video.
Go upstairs and use your restroom while you finish up.
Well, I'll run up behind you, and I don't, because I don't know where Jane is. I'll